All right. We are short in time because I had to help a friend. And it couldn't be done by somebody else. So we're going to try to make it short, but to the point. God willing. We are in Parashat Shoftim. Thought so. Next week, very important parasha. Parashat Ki Tetzeh. Why is it important? It's my birthday parasha. That's why it's important. It's Parashat Shoftim. Parashat Shoftim is very significant. It is so significant that you have basically no idea. And why is that? Especially in recent times, we hear all kind of like became like a fashion more than ever. Not more than ever. We had a little break with this about criticizing Jews and picking on Jews and so on and so forth and beating up Jews. So, first of all, this should not be taking place. We are in a point that we should not allow anybody to beat us up anymore. And that should go on record. We should not allow, and whatever needs to be done, of course legal, the Jews will not get beaten up again. Not in Manhattan, and not in Paris, and not anybody else. The contribution of Jews and the Torah is so enormous that you have no idea. You want an example? I'll tell you that. Why this week parasha? And it's so wonderful that it falls right on current events. The parasha said, Shoftim or Shotrim, right? Judges and law people, enforcers you're going to put, and so on and so forth. In other words, create a certain system of law and order. Why is that important? You want to know why it's important? I'll tell you why it's important. Because until that point, there was no such thing as law and order by the people. There was always the laws of the king. The king set the rules and he did whatever he wanted. As Mel Brooks said, it's good to be the king. You want to know what happens if it wasn't for the Jews? You want to know how the world would have been if it wasn't for the Jews? I'll give you two examples. North Korea. Kim Jong-il in the mind. That's one way. He does whatever thing. He's the king. You don't like it? Siberia, down in the river they'll throw you. Feed you to the dogs, literally. The other way, ISIS. That's exactly what happened. So tell all those bright light who always complain about the Jews, say, if it wasn't for us, you have ISIS. Or they call it Israel, Daesh, the Islamic Republic, or whatever in the world they are. They're marching 250 prisoners. They don't care about any internet. They shoot them down. Hundreds of women are in jail, raped, pregnant, gave birth to children, separated from the mothers. Where is Mr. Erdogan from Turkey? Where are all this Roger Waters in the toilet, from Pink Floyd? All those noble people that can always speak of the Jews, that defend themselves. Meanwhile, I don't hear them saying anything when those atrocities are happening. I don't hear a word. The hypocrisy of the world is the problem. And it's all because of, in this parasha, everything is in this week's parasha. I'm telling you that. Why does the Torah tells us we have to put judges and law enforcers and to the point that we as Jews are taking upon ourselves to obey the laws of the place. Dinah de Malchuta Dinah. The laws of the country is the laws of the country. Even if it's sometimes contradicting halacha to a certain extent. Because mankind, humans, are able to do horrible things. People riot. People rob. They loot. People are horrible. If there's no law and order, go look in Africa. Go look in Africa, what they do over there. Boca Haram. Go look what they do. There's no law, there's no order. En din ve'en dayan. They do. Ish ayashar ve'enav yaseh. Whatever you feel like doing, you do. That's it. People are not people, they're cockroaches. As much as a woman would say to the son, oh, kill the cockroach. The guy said to another human being, kill the cockroach, kill the other person. That's how they are. I saw today a clip of those ISIS people leading 250 Syrian soldiers making noises like a sheep herder. Yalla, no. Marching them barefoot, nothing but underpants on them, shooting them in the desert. They taking heads off like it's going out of style here. It's a great. This one takes 5 heads off. This one can. What is this? A Walmart's hell for heads? What they're doing with these things? When out of their minds. Comes the Torah, says, listen. It's the first time in human history that man is commanded to have laws and order and law enforcers. Why? Because of what humans are capable of doing. We're all capable of doing that. That's why you have to obey the law. If there is a stop sign, you stop. It doesn't make a difference if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. If there is, after midnight, or 3 o'clock a.m., or 3 o'clock p.m. There's a stop sign, you stop. Why? That's law and order. I mean, it's as simple as that. It is a gift to humanity that the Torah gives us in this week's parasha. More than that. Now let's go to the hypocrisy of the world. We have the case of Egla Arufa. We take between 2 cities, we find a body of a dead person. They measure the proximity of the body to whichever city. Wherever it's closer, comes the elders of the city, and they behead a calf, and they say, our hands did not spill this blood. Of course, the question is, what hand? You imagine comes this 80-year-old rabbi like this with a thing, and he said, our hands, how is he capable of killing anybody? Why is he saying, our hands did not spill this blood? It's very interesting. Chachamim tell us that this is an act of responsibility. What does that mean? The leaders of the city, the sages, the leaders of the city, should take responsibility for a crime that happened in their town. Why? They say, maybe we had a stranger coming to this town, and we didn't treat him appropriately. We didn't offer him food and shelter, and he had to rob somebody to the point that he killed him. Therefore, we are responsible for that killing. This is an unbelievable idea. Something to learn. I'm not a scholar of English linguistics and grammar. So with my very limited knowledge, I'll try to present you with a point. Maybe it will make sense. Could be grammatically wrong, but still will make sense. We said that those chachamim, those sages of the city, are viewed as responsible for the crime that happened, that somebody got killed. So first of all, it's something terrific to learn, which most of our wonderful politicians never do. They always blame somebody else. They'll never take responsibility to their actions. They are Teflons, they're above the law. They never take responsibility. However, responsibility to me sounds something that is derived from the word response. to respond. How do you respond to the situation? Something happens. A person died, or a person was killed. How do you respond to that would reflect your responsibility. If you want to fix something, you have to take responsibility to say, listen, we are the heads of the city. How is it possible that something just happened to us? We're probably doing something wrong. Let's respond to it in a responsible manner. Not responding for something is irresponsible. When you see something wrong happening and you don't voice your disagreement with this, you are just as guilty. Din shtika kedin hodaya. You kept silent, you agreeing with that. If you weren't, you should have said, excuse me, this is wrong. You see somebody oppressing someone, regardless of age, sex, or race, or anything else, it is wrong. You should say, this is wrong. If it is your brother doing somebody else from a different race and religion and sex altogether, says, listen, my brother, this is wrong what you're doing. It's not right. If you keep quiet, it's quiet. I haven't yet heard a Muslim saying the Hamas was wrong for doing what they're doing. I mean, if anybody forgot, by the way, just to remind you all, Gaza was never a part of down Palestine. It was always a part of Egypt. So where does Palestine came from? But they are quiet. Nobody would say a word. It's the biggest lie. The West Bank? What? Palestine? There's no such thing. It was taken from Jordan in a war. The Jordans started 1967 on Israel. Israel wanted, they took it. It's not of the love to the Arabs that the world is so much wanting to have this thing that's called Palestine, more to the hatred of the Jews. Do you know why? Because they're fake. Because really, nobody wants to have law and order. Very few people, righteous people. Everybody wants to do whatever they want to do. That is the essence, as I told you many times, of Baal Peor, the greatest Avodah Zarah of all. I don't care. What do I care? Why do I care what happens to him? Happens to me. I mean, me? Okay, so he hurt him. Why do I care about this? I mean, I didn't hurt him. I don't even hit a chihuahua, for crying out loud. I never barked back on a shih tzu. So why do I care? Why do you care? Because it's your responsibility to be responsible to respond in a manner. Excuse me, what you're doing to him is wrong. And there is a tzivui min Torah on that. Hocheach tochiach et amitecha. You have to rebuke somebody. Say, excuse me, you're not doing the right thing. And there's no such thing as wink, wink, it's okay, it's okay, wink, wink. It's wrong. Excuse me. Katonti, I'm too small to say that. However, with my very small and limited mind, what you're doing is wrong. Why are you cheating? Why are you, doing things that are not the right thing to do? Why are you hurting somebody? Why are you, and on and on and on. This is a Parashat Shoftim with everything is in it, is a new concept in the history of the world. Way before Greek democracy, everybody, democracy, shmamocracy. It's empty words. We have laws. We have orders. And the koach, the right, was given to the people to change the laws. And that's why in Judaism we have those discussions. And there are open recorded discussions in the Gemara. Most people don't even, of course not people who learn. Those people who don't learn think, your rabbis argue all day long. Argue. 2 Jews, 50 opinions. No, you don't understand. These are recorded arguments, so you'll see that the opinion counts. And there is room for discussion, and it's okay to say, I don't agree with you. It doesn't mean I don't like you. I just don't agree with you. Okay, so let's take a vote. And then Chachamim says, right, Halacha like so. Okay, I don't see more democracy than that. But yet, I will give it to the Greeks, I won't give it to the Jews. Well, God forbid, that everybody is now boycotting Israel, boycotting this, boycotting that. Okay, not a problem. You want to boycott Israel? Terrific. First of all, it's dumb Israelis. They should also boycott Europe. That's first of all. Second, you want to boycott Israel? Good. Take all your the telephone chips out of your thing. Take all your stuff out. Give me back all your... go back basically to the Stone Age, all the Israeli inventions and all the Jewish inventions that are there. Go ahead, take them out. You boycott all the way to the end, you're a hypocrite. But everybody keeps quiet. And why? Because of that. Jews brought great things to the world, but they don't get the credit for that. Shabbat, which I told you a million times, is the first introduction of freedom of the individual. That no other human is allowed to oppress another human. Why? Because B'Tselem Elokim Bera'am, we are all created in the image of God. It's a noble idea. Shabbat is even more refined than that. Yeah, I can work for you 6 days. One day I'm free. Freedom, first time freedom is introduced to mankind. And law and order. There's no other society that did that. The Jews did it. You should be very proud of being Jews. And this week when you go to Bet HaKnesset and you read the Parashat, sit back and take a little breath of nachat, Hey, we're not that bad. Actually, we're great. What this world will be like? You want to know how this world will be like? Look at what happens in Iraq. Look at what happens in Syria. Look what happened in Tunisia, in Lebanon, in Egypt, and all these places in the world where they have riots. Look what happened in when they had Katrina in what's the name of this place? New Orleans. That's no law and order. You want to live like that? It's good when you are doing that to somebody else. How about somebody comes to your house and throws you out? Let's see you then, big shot. That's the contribution of the Jew. Shoftim v'shotrim titen lecha b'chol sha'arecha. Every city, every place, every village, you have to have a system of courts and people who would enforce the law for the benefit of the people, because we know what mankind is capable of. This is the essence, also a different essence of the mitzvot themselves. To give us boundaries because we are capable of doing horrible things. Rape and murder and oppression. And comes the Torah and says, no, you're humans. You need to law. These are the laws. These are the way you're going to interact. We're going to give you some values. We're going to implant timeless virtues in you. And this is Parashat Shoftim. Be very proud of your Jews. Don't put your head down. Maybe you should learn some martial arts. I'm always a big advocate of learning martial arts. Never forget to pray to God. But never forget you're a Jew. Don't let anybody step on you. Don't let anybody spit on you. And you have to learn how to fight back. Also verbally. So if people argue with you, tell them where they would have been if it wasn't for freedom, and where they would have been if it wasn't for law. Shabbat Shalom.